Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Naresh Madhav and with me is Nipunika Shahid with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Jan Dhan Yojana is foundation for many poverty alleviation initiatives. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 76.24%. Supreme Court upholds UGC decision to hold final year exams by September 30. In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 terrorists killed by security forces in Shopian district, and Shinzo Abe resigns from post of Prime Minister of Japan on health grounds. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wishes him speedy recovery. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana initiative has been a game changer and is serving as the foundation for many poverty alleviation initiatives benefiting crores of people. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said, 6 years ago, the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana was launched with an ambitious aim of banking the unbanked. The Prime Minister said, a high proportion of beneficiaries are from rural areas and are women. He said the future of several families has become secure. Mr. Modi also applauded all those who worked tirelessly to make Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana a success. Central government's flagship financial inclusion program, Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana PMJDY, has completed 6 years today. The scheme was launched on the 28th of August in 2014 with an aim to provide universal access to banking facilities to the people in the country. While launching the program, Prime Minister Narendra Modi had described the occasion as a festival to celebrate the liberation of the poor from a vicious cycle. Over 40 crore 35 lakh bank accounts have been opened under the scheme since its inception, and 1,31,000 crore rupees have been deposited in these accounts. About 8 crore PMJDY account holders are receiving direct benefit transfer from the government under various schemes. On the 6th anniversary of the scheme, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana has been the foundation stone for the Modi government's people-centric economic initiatives. On the 6th anniversary of Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar said that over 63% of the account holders are from rural areas.
Union government today said that the country's recovery rate among the COVID-19 patients has reached 76.24%. Around 60,177 COVID patients have recovered during the last 24 hours. Health Ministry said the total number of recoveries has reached over 25,83,000. Health Ministry said the constantly increasing recoveries have ensured that the actual caseload of the country has reduced and currently comprises only 21.93% of the total positive cases. It said effective implementation of Centre's strategic and graded test, track and treat approach has led to higher recoveries and lower fatality. Currently, India's case fatality rate is at 1.83%, which is one of the lowest globally. According to Indian Council of Medical Research, during the last 24 hours, more than 9 lakh tests were conducted. The total number of samples tested so far has reached over 3 crore 94 lakhs. The testing strategy also ensured a steady expansion of the national lab network. Today, with 998 labs in the government sector and 566 private labs, 1,564 labs are providing comprehensive testing facilities to the people. The recovery rate of COVID patients in Delhi stands at 89.41%. Delhi continues to be the state with the highest recovery percentage in the country. The city recorded recovery of 1,446 patients in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of recovered patients till date to 1,51,473. With increasing testing, the city has achieved the remarkable feat of conducting 80,350 corona tests per million of its population. A total of 1,808 new confirmed cases of coronavirus were reported in the national capital during the last 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID cases in the city has reached to 1,69,412. The Delhi government confirmed that 20 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours, taking the total to 4,389. The total number of active corona cases in the city now stands at 13,550. In Odisha, COVID-19 cases have further spiked to 94,668 with 3,682 new infections, the highest in a day yesterday. On the other hand, 65,323 people have recovered so far. Our correspondent reports that COVID death toll has crossed 450 in the state.
It's for the third consecutive day that the positive cases in Odisha continue to cross the 3,000 mark. With this trend, the state is not very far away from the 1 lakh mark. While Kolkata district continues to top the inter-district COVID tally with 775 fresh cases, Raigada district has come a surprising second with 495 cases. Out of the total 30 districts of the state, while 9 districts reported more than 100 cases each, as many as 11 other districts are better off with less than 50 fresh additions each to take care of. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
A record number of more than 35.41 lakh samples have been tested in Andhra Pradesh so far. 10,526 more COVID-19 positive cases were recorded in the last 24 hours. 8,463 people have recovered. A total of 4,03,616 COVID positive cases have been recorded so far in Andhra Pradesh, and 3,03,711 people have recovered, and 96,191 people are under treatment. At least 35,41,321 samples have been tested so far in the state, and 3,714 COVID deaths have been reported. Kerala's single-day COVID confirmation number touched an all-time high of 2,543 today. 2,097 recoveries were also reported. The total active cases have risen to 23,111. Meanwhile, the death toll in the state has reached 274, as 7 more deaths were reported today. There are currently 1,94,431 people under observation across the state. Nagaland has reported 21 fresh cases of COVID-19 positive today, taking the total confirmed cases to 3,805 in the state, while 123 people have recovered from COVID-19. The COVID-19 recovery rate in the state has improved to 75.11%. With this, the state's number of active cases has also come down to 929. So far, a total of 2,858 people have recovered from the disease, and 8 people have lost their lives. In Manipur, 118 people, including 37 personnel from the Central Armed Police Force, were confirmed as new COVID-19 positive cases in the last 24 hours, while 100 people were discharged. Meanwhile, in the past 24 hours, 2 persons expired, thus increasing the fatality to 27 in the state. The cumulative number of positive cases in Manipur is 5,843, including 1,511 central security personnel. The cumulative number of recoveries is 4,057, while the active cases are 1,759. The recovery rate registered today is 69.43%. In the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, the graph of COVID-19 cases is declining fast. More from our correspondent.
Looking at the declining graph of COVID-19 in the islands, the Chief Secretary Chetan B. Sanghi expressed hope that the islands will again be corona-free. It is to mention that in the last 15 days, the recovery rate has substantially improved from 45% to 78%. There is a fall that is being seen in the number of cases reported. During this period, 1,118 fresh cases reported, while 1,545 patients recovered. The medical facilities are being extended and continuous monitoring is going on. The current test per million rate of the islands is 78,900. Now the total number of active cases has reduced to 602. Further, he affirmed that all vulnerable tribal groups of the islands are safe and there is no need to create panic.
हमने काफी कदम अभी उठाए हैं कि हम फिर से जीरो की तरफ चलें और हमारे पास पॉजिटिव्स ना रहें और इसका रिजल्ट ये भी है कि 15 दिनों में पिछले काफी केसेस में कमी हुई है। हमारी टेस्टिंग अभी भी बहुत ज्यादा है और हम लोगों के लिए जितनी भी सहायता है वो घर तक पहुंचा रहे हैं। हम सबको अपने काम धंधे पर वापस लगाना चाहते हैं और इस वजह से सारे एहतियात और सारे प्रिपरेशन हो रहे हैं। बेड्स की कोई कमी नहीं है, वेंटिलेटर्स की कोई कमी नहीं है, डॉक्टर्स की कोई कमी नहीं है और किसी साधन की कमी नहीं। कई बार सुनने में आता है कि भाई यहाँ किसी प्रिमिटिव वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप्स हैं, उनमें कोरोना फैल गया है। ऐसा कोई नहीं फैला है। चारों प्रिमिटिव वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप्स बिल्कुल सेफ हैं और हम पूरी तरह से उसके लिए जागरूक हैं। निकोबारीज जो हैं और ग्रेट अंडमानीज जो हैं, ये जैसे निकोबारीज पर्टिकुलरली आम शहरी की तरह हैं, वो प्रिमिटिव वल्नरेबल ट्राइबल ग्रुप की कैटेगरी में भी नहीं आते। हम ये मानते हैं कि आने वाले कुछ दिनों में अंडमान फिर से अपने कोरोना के फ्री होने के स्टेटस का फिर से दावा कर पाएगा 2-3 हफ्ते की और बात।
गौरव पटवाल, AIR न्यूज, पोर्ट ब्लेयर।
In our series Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of the leading medical experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Dr. Uma Kumar, Head of Rheumatology Department, AIMS, suggested people to follow social distancing, hand hygiene and cough etiquettes.
Corona infection, it's a new infection and nothing much is known about this virus. You call it treatment or you call it prevention. The only thing which helps is social distancing or physical distancing. Along with it, you have like hand hygiene, washing your hands very frequently, and cough etiquettes like while coughing or sneezing, just cover your face and nose. Use tissue paper or cloth, or if you don't have anything, you can just cough into your elbows.
President of Public Health Foundation of India, Dr. K. Srinath Reddy said, India is in a much better position as compared to rest of the world as far as the COVID-19 cases are concerned and the measures taken are yielding results.
अब तक जो नतीजे निकले हैं उससे पता चलता है कि ये वायरस का प्रभाव को रोकने में हम काफी कामयाबी हासिल कर चुके हैं दूसरे देशों के मुकाबले में। आज का हालात जो है उसमें कोई संशय नहीं है कि हमारा हालात दूसरे देशों के मुकाबले में बेहतर है।
The News Services Division of All India Radio, in its bilingual live phone-in program today, will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. Dr. Nitesh from Safdarjung Hospital will participate in the discussion. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free telephone number 1800115767. One can also ask questions on telephone number 011-2331-4444 and post queries on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This can be heard tonight on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.com and on our YouTube channel News on AIR Official. You can listen to it on our mobile app News on AIR.
The Supreme Court today upheld the July 6 circular of the University Grants Commission (UGC) to hold university final year exams by the 30th of September in its verdict today. The Apex Court was pronouncing its verdict on the pleas challenging the decision of the University Grants Commission asking universities and colleges to conduct the final year exams amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The verdict was pronounced by a bench headed by Justice Ashok Bhushan. The Supreme Court said states can postpone final year exams under Disaster Management Act, but fresh dates have to be fixed in consultation with the UGC. States are required to hold final year exams as per the UGC guidelines, and for any exemption, they would have to seek permission. The bench had reserved its verdict on the issue on the 18th of August. The UGC had told the top court that states cannot take the decision to confer degrees without holding the examinations. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has welcomed the Supreme Court's verdict in favor of the conduct of final year exams. In a tweet, Mr. Javadekar said, it will help students to qualify for further admissions on merit. He hopes that unnecessary controversy on the issue will now be put to rest. Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla today chaired a meeting of officials from both Houses of Parliament, Health Ministry, DRDO and other agencies to finalize the arrangements for the upcoming monsoon session in view of the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking to reporters after the meeting, Mr. Birla said, the seating arrangement in both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha will be based on the guidelines of the Health Ministry on COVID-19. He said comprehensive arrangements have been made for holding the session. The Lok Sabha Speaker said members of Parliament will be requested to get themselves tested for COVID-19 at least 72 hours before the start of the monsoon session of Parliament. He said besides the MPs, all those who are expected to enter the Parliament premises, including officials from ministries, representatives from the media, and staff of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha secretariats, will get tested for the coronavirus before the start of the session. Yesterday, the Lok Sabha Speaker had held a meeting with Secretary General of Lok Sabha, Snehalata Srivastava, and Secretary General of Rajya Sabha, Deshdeepak Verma. The monsoon session of Parliament is expected to begin from the mid of next month.
You're listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Jan Dhan Yojana is foundation for many poverty alleviation initiatives. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 76.24%. Supreme Court upholds UGC decision to hold final year exams by September 30. In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 terrorists killed by security forces in Shopian district. Shinzo Abe resigns from post of Prime Minister of Japan on health grounds. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wishes him speedy recovery. For quick news updates, round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle @AIR News Alerts.
सुनिए संस्कृत जगत से जुड़ी हुई विभिन्न गतिविधियों के साथ आकाशवाणी द्वारा प्रसारित विशेष कार्यक्रम संस्कृत साप्ताहिकी अब नए समय पर प्रत्येक शनिवार प्रातः 11:20 से आकाशवाणी के समाचार चैनल FM गोल्ड पर तथा पुनः प्रसारण रविवार प्रातः 11:20 से।
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, 4 terrorists were killed in an encounter between the security forces and terrorists in Kilura area in South Kashmir's Shopian district today. According to police, a joint team of Shopian Police, Army's 44 Rashtriya Rifles and Central Reserve Police Force based on an intelligence input laid a cordon and search operation in Kilura village. As the team approached the suspected spot, the terrorists fired upon them. The joint team of security forces retaliated and killed 4 terrorists. The identity of the slain terrorists is being ascertained. The joint operation was going on when reports last came in. Countries that have turned the production of terrorists into a primary export have attempted to paint themselves as victims of terror. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar said today, calling for creation of global mechanisms to shut down the structures supporting the menace. In his remarks at the 19th Darbari Seth Memorial Lecture organized by the Energy Research Institute, Dr. Jaishankar added the global community will have to unite to fight the menace of terrorism.
The struggle against terror and those who aid and abet it is work in progress. It remains for the international system to create the necessary mechanisms to shut down the structure that support and enable terrorism, whether in South Asia or across the globe.
Dr. Jaishankar touched upon a plethora of issues including India's global outlook, essence of self-reliance and multilateralism. In a clear reference to Pakistan, he said international pressure has eventually compelled a state complicit in aiding, abetting, training and directing terror groups and associated criminal syndicates to acknowledge the presence of wanted terrorists and organized crime leaders on its territory. A statutory regulatory order, SRO, by Pakistan last week mentioned names of 80 terrorists including Dawood Ibrahim, Hafiz Saeed and Masood Azhar. Talking about challenge of terrorism, the External Affairs Minister said it is a cancer that potentially affects everyone, just as pandemics potentially impact upon all humanity. Dr. Jaishankar said sustained pressure through international mechanisms to prevent the movement of funds for terror groups and their front agencies can bring positive results. Talking about India's global approach, the External Affairs Minister said the country demonstrated its global outlook through the humanitarian relief and medical assistance to around 150 nations.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said that he is pained to hear about the ill health of his dear friend Shinzo Abe. Mr. Abe today resigned from the post of Prime Minister of Japan on health grounds. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, in recent years, with the wise leadership and personal commitment of Mr. Abe, the India-Japan partnership became deeper and stronger than ever before. The Prime Minister wished and prayed for speedy recovery of Shinzo Abe. India and Singapore today signed implementing arrangement on humanitarian assistance and disaster relief. The two countries held defense policy dialogue via video conferencing today. It was co-chaired by Defense Secretary Dr. Ajay Kumar and Permanent Secretary Defense Singapore Mr. Chan Heng Kee. Both sides held discussions on a number of issues of bilateral defense engagements between India and Singapore. Both sides committed to further enhancing the security partnership between the two countries. The Election Commission today bade farewell to outgoing Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa, who is moving on to take up the prestigious assignment as Vice President of Asian Development Bank at Manila, Philippines. Mr. Lavasa had joined as Election Commissioner on the 23rd of January 2018. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Arora wished Mr. Lavasa the very best ahead for meeting bigger challenges and achieving more milestones. The Commission also released Volume 6 of Landmark Judgments, a compendium of judgments delivered by Supreme Court and various High Courts from January 2017 to May 2019. It consists of 29 significant judgments covering various aspects of electoral process like nomination, affidavit, EVM, VVPAT, Model Code of Conduct, corrupt practices and other related matters.
The Bureau of Police Research and Development BPRND is celebrating its Golden Jubilee anniversary today. Greeting BPRND on the occasion, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said over the last 50 years, the organization has been unwavering in its commitment in the service of the nation. He said government has laid emphasis on a modern, effective and sensitive security architecture that inspires a sense of safety among all sections of the society. The Prime Minister also said the focus needs to be on innovation and research to optimally utilize technology and human resources. He said it is vital to continue updating areas of skilling, research and training to further the outreach and capabilities of the police force with citizen-centric and citizen-friendly approach. Congratulating the organization, Home Minister Amit Shah said BPRND has played a vital role in strengthening India's internal security through research and development. Mr. Shah saluted BPRND's continuous quest for a robust and modern police system in the country. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today paid rich tributes to social reformer Mahatma Ayankali on his Jayanti. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said, India remains indebted to greats like Mahatma Ayankali. The Prime Minister said his work towards social reform and empowering the downtrodden will always inspire. Ayankali was born on August 28 in the year 1863 in Venganur, Thiruvananthapuram. He was a social reformer who worked for the advancement of deprived people in the princely state of Travancore in British India, the present-day Kerala. Mahatma Ayankali also sought to improve access to education. He died at the age of 68 years in 1941. The 157th birth anniversary of the great social reformer Mahatma Ayankali was celebrated across the state of Kerala today. A report.
Ayankali throughout his life fought for the upliftment of the downtrodden. He put pressure on the authorities for providing education to the socially backward classes by means of powerful agitations and rallies. Mahatma Gandhi called him as Pule Raja. He is considered as the most prominent Dalit leader from Kerala. Today on his birth anniversary, people from various fields pay tributes to the great soul. Prime Minister Narendra Modi shared one of his old speech about the great social reformer. He said, Ayankali's work towards social reforms and empowering the downtrodden will always inspire the world. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan recalled him as a great human being who brought Kerala to the dawn of modernism through his tireless activities. Throughout the state of Kerala, people celebrated his birth anniversary. The State Department of Scheduled Caste Development gave floral tributes on his statue in Vellayambalam Square in Thiruvananthapuram today in presence of state ministers. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
President Ramnath Kovind and Prime Minister Narendra Modi have expressed grief on the passing away of Lok Sabha MP from Kanyakumari, H. Vasantakumar. In a tweet, Mr. Kovind said, an entrepreneur and social activist, H. Vasantakumar, earned his name in the world of politics and business. The President said his devotion to people's cause in Tamil Nadu was inspiring. Expressing grief on the demise of H. Vasantakumar, the Prime Minister said during his interactions with him, he always saw his passion towards Tamil Nadu's progress. He expressed condolences to his family and supporters. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will share his thoughts with the people in the country and abroad in the Mann Ki Baat program on All India Radio on Sunday. It will be the 68th episode of the monthly radio program. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he is looking forward to the ideas and inputs of people for the program. He said people can share their views in Namo app or MyGov open forum. Mr. Modi said they can also dial the toll-free number 1800117800 and record their message. People can give a missed call on 1922 and follow the link received in SMS to directly give their suggestions to the Prime Minister.
51st International Film Festival of India, IFE, will be held in Goa from November 20 to 28. This film festival, being a hybrid film festival due to COVID-19, would screen films on official digital platform along with the theatrical screenings. More from our correspondent.
Vice Chairman of the Entertainment Society of Goa, Subhash Fardesai, informed that in a virtual meeting held last week, the IFFI Steering Committee decided to hold the festival in compliance with the central government's SOP. Mr. Fardesai added that another meeting will be held shortly. The segments that could be screened virtually and those which can be shown at auditoriums in Goa will be decided in this meeting. Fardesai added that the possibility of giving online access to delegates for films rather than inviting them to the venue is worked out and it is likely to be finalized in the next meeting. In the meanwhile, the invitations for the screening of international films for the 51st edition of IFFI are already open. Mukesh Thali for AIR News from Panaji, Goa.
President Ramnath Kovind will virtually confer the National Sports and Adventure Award 2020 tomorrow on the occasion of National Sports Day. Mr. Kovind will present Rajiv Gandhi Khel Ratna Award, Arjun Award, Dronacharya Award, Dhyan Chand Award, Tenzing Norgay National Adventure Award and Rashtriya Khel Protsahan Puraskar. Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju, President of Indian Olympic Association Narendra Dhruv Batra and several other dignitaries will attend the ceremony from Vigyan Bhavan in New Delhi. The Sports Ministry said 65 awardees are expected to attend the ceremony. The awardees will attend the ceremony from various places across the country: Bengaluru, Pune, Sonipat, Chandigarh, Kolkata, Lucknow, Delhi, Mumbai, Bhopal, Hyderabad and Itanagar. The ceremony will begin at 11 a.m. and will be broadcast live on AIR News, Doordarshan and Government's webcast portal. Now let us take a look at the weather tomorrow. The national capital Delhi will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. The minimum temperature is expected to be 27 degrees Celsius and the maximum 34 degrees. Mumbai is likely to experience a cloudy sky with heavy rain. The minimum and maximum temperatures are likely to hover around 25 and 31 degrees Celsius. Chennai is to witness a cloudy sky with light rain or drizzle. The minimum and maximum temperature could be 25 and 35 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will witness a generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunderstorm. The minimum temperature could be at 26 degrees while the maximum at 29 degrees Celsius. On to the north, in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the minimum temperature is likely to be 23 degrees Celsius in Jammu, while the maximum will be around 29 degrees. The city will have a generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. In Srinagar, the minimum and maximum temperatures are expected to be 15 degrees and 23 degrees respectively. The city is likely to have a partly cloudy sky with rain or thunderstorm. Ladakh is expected to witness a partly cloudy sky with rain and thunderstorm, with temperatures hovering between 12 and 22 degrees Celsius. In Gilgit, the minimum temperature could be 17 and maximum 26. It is likely to witness a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. Muzaffarabad will have a partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The minimum temperature could be 20 degrees Celsius and the maximum 27 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, the minimum temperature may hover around 23 degrees Celsius and the maximum could be 34 degrees Celsius. The city may witness a partly cloudy sky with a few spells of rain or thunder showers. Chandigarh may witness a generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi says Jan Dhan Yojana is foundation for many poverty alleviation initiatives. COVID-19 recovery rate improves to 76.24%. Supreme Court upholds UGC decision to hold final year exams by September 30. In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 terrorists killed by security forces in Shopian district. and Shinzo Abe resigns from post of Prime Minister of Japan on health grounds. Prime Minister Narendra Modi wishes him speedy recovery. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. With that, we end the evening news. Good night.